.1150 KKNW E's way I see it, no other way. Y'all know the motto. If it's out there, let's talk about it. I'm your host, E-Dawg, alongside my lovely co-host,
Tari Free.
And you can't forget my man, DJ Hustleman.
Yes, sir.
And Sweeng 1 is in the building, but we got to go downstairs and get him.
We in the building.
We got some interesting subjects to talk about.
One in particular.
George Floyd.
Yes.
And a lot of other stuff. So y'all tune in. We got special guests coming on today, Draze.
Yeah.
And it's going down today, man. So y'all hold on for this hour, man. Let's make it really beautiful. But let's get some points out. And right now we're going to start out with my man, Jordan Omley. It's news.
The news.
Please, I can't breathe. A man shot her repeatedly with a knee on his neck, and the cop easily could have gotten up and just taken him into custody, but he took his life, so I'm thinking that it's a must that we shine light on the crime happened on Monday. White cop, black man, I'm like, one day I really hope that the same ending is done with, and justice better be served, and I hope done quick. The whole death was filmed by people watching, an 8-minute knee to his throat instead of stopping, and everyone around could see that he couldn't breathe. People were yelling out for the cop to remove the knee. The cop never budged, just let him die, no telling why. Don't know the officer's name yet, they'll tell in time. And the mayor of Minnesota's disgusted. Why is this happening by the people entrusted to stop crime and save lives? Here we go again. Let's speak loud and show the world that we noticing. Don't let the people in charge just try to phone it in. We need the voice of a nation to start focusing.
Wow. That was a real deep one today. Yeah. So
a lot to talk about today.
A lot. So main topic, obviously, is the murder.
Yeah.
Right? Say his name.
Rest in peace, George Floyd.
Yes, sir.
You know?
And, you know, finally, the officer, what is it, Derek Chauvin? Something like that.
Don't say his name.
Well.
The officer.
The officer.
Yeah.
And the reason why I do say his name is because, you know, researching him a little bit and as this story has unfolded, that man should have never still been on Minneapolis's police force.
Yeah, he's a bad cop.
18 complaints. 18, stemming all the way back from 2005, 15 years ago. 2005, 18 complaints of excessive force. I believe there was another one that there was a death involved.
It was a lawsuit.
Lawsuit, right?
Yeah.
And then the Asian officer, Mr. Tao, Officer Tao, he had 5, and one was, I think 5, if I'm not mistaken, and one was still open, right? So a couple of Officer Tao's were closed with no disciplinary action, things like that. I know that, I mean, this whole situation, especially in the last couple of months, not only with COVID, but we've had a number of African-American deaths. Breon, and...
The girl who got killed in her house.
Yep.
But especially in Minneapolis.
Aubrey, yep.
It's been a lot of them, like 5 of them in Minneapolis. That's what's really... the tipping point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it just kind of... And people are relating this to all the riots and the fires and the protests, relating it to Rodney King of this era, of this generation, which is not far from that. You're right. But, you know, Rodney King didn't die.
Yeah.
And I know that, I mean, you know, in my experience in dealing with law enforcement and having relation, you know, knowing Carmen Best and SPD for as many years as I have, the various chiefs and even knowing their tactical trainers very well. I don't believe and I, you know, even looking at, you have a lot of law enforcement white law enforcement putting out their TikToks and talking about, you know, this is a technique that isn't even used in law enforcement because of the risk that it gives. So they don't even, from my understanding, and looking and listening to everybody, other law enforcement agencies from around the country talk about it, they're saying that is an illegal use.
Well,
they don't even. I mean, they have it, but they don't use it. It's something that they know is a high risk tactical move, so they do not train that.
Well, they train it, but they outlawed it.
Because
you used to be able to do it. So they are trained to do that. So
trained to do what?
To put your foot
now,
on
but
the back
not
of
but not on the
your
neck.
knee and all that.
Yeah.
Not on the neck.
There's a main vein that runs right to your brain. He cut that circulation off.
Right.
And this was killing me is that the guy, I don't know his name, in Spanaway, that is the wrestling coach that they gave.
From Bethel High School. He got fired.
He got fired.
Yeah,
he did?
Yes. Amen.
Yeah,
yes.
let's clap for that. Let's clap for
that.
He was trying to.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
says, I'm not racist.
Everybody's coming
bruh.
everybody coming out with this tactical thing and showing it and trying to. Man, you don't know where specifically that cutoff was. Now,
well, they did some comparisons. Now there is a tactical move where it puts it right here. Right?
Okay.
There is, and then
your spine,
right
Yeah.
in between here. But if you look, it's on his neck.
Yeah.
On his, I mean, he is choking him out.
So who up in here want me to put my knee on the back of their neck right now to
No.
prove that just because it's in the wrong spot or something?
Listen.
that
This
it
is
ain't
the
gonna be
thing.
hurt?
This is the thing. When somebody says, "I can't breathe,"
Thank you.
And
right?
calling for them, mama.
You don't put your mind in the process of thinking that he's playing around.
Right.
We lost too many people because of that same judgment.
Yeah.
It's not if you go to the doctors and you walk in there and say I can't breathe,
They're gonna treat you.
they're gonna treat you real
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Right? You don't sit back, and my whole thing was the vibe he had looking into the camera.
Yeah, he had his hand-
never looked down at the man to see if he was
I
struggling.
was gonna say that he looked like he didn't even care.
He had a eye contact with a camera, like, watch this.
And his hand was in his pocket, right?
And his hands were in his pockets. And I think that was just like, it was like, man, it was just that part right there alone played back in my head. Like, this man really is killing him and he doesn't care.
Right.
And then the thing is like this. You don't make that judgment. You're not the jury and you're not the judge.
Right.
Your job is to get him in the vehicle
Yeah.
and transport him down for his judgment.
Actually, wait a minute. They take a vow to serve and protect and render aid when somebody is needing rendering of aid, right?
Yeah.
And so that was something interesting to remember is because, okay, serve and protect, but now you've pushed it to where this gentleman needs aid.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 minutes.
Yeah.
6 of those minutes, the man was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
2 of those minutes where he had him down with his knee, choking him out, the man was not alive.
And we're not talking about, you got to see how the curve is, too. He was already in an uncomfortable position. Cola said he was begging for his mom. His mom had just passed away.
His mama's been dead for 2 years.
So he's seeing death.
He's seen death. He said,
he's seeing
I can't
death.
breathe. He said, my stomach hurt, my back. He said, I'm about to die. He
I
said,
know.
I'm about to die.
I know.
He's seen death. But what we didn't get to see is once a man is handcuffed,
down on the ground.
Yeah, like
he's
I tell you,
down. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna tell a story off air, but my story I'm gonna tell y'all off air has to do with handcuffs on me. I haven't had handcuffs on me in over 25 something years. If any one of y'all had handcuffs on y'all lately, that man was handcuffed in his back.
There was nothing he could do.
There was nothing he could do. He couldn't, even if you are handcuffed.
The next step is to secure your ankles.
Yeah, but
they didn't even get to that point.
Even if you are handcuffed,
wasn't struggling.
what could you do?
With 4 officers.
I couldn't even run. You can't even
4.
run handcuffed with your hands behind your back.
Okay, so this is the thing. Zay Nelson said the picture, and I was talking about this, the picture that's running around with him wearing a hat that says "Make America White Again."
Who?
Right? The cop.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he wore a hat. Like, you can go on the internet and find old stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But the reason why I'm not really making that a pure subject is because with all these art type of things you can do online today, somebody could have put that out there, right? So I'm not going to put that out there. Let's talk about this though. What are you investigating? We all seen it.
Oh, I know what it was.
Right? But look, the coroner came out and said this, and I've never in my life It takes a minute to get a what is it,
Toxicology report.
report.
Yeah.
That always takes weeks, sometimes months to get back.
Yeah.
He put his 2 cents in it and said that he didn't pass away from what the officer did,
It's strangulation. I
but
thought.
he had some health problems that brought that on. But they said, then he said, so it could be between the health problems and whatever he had in his system.
So it was the.
So you are
doctor.
no, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Whatever he had in his system.
Yeah.
You don't know if he had anything in his system. So
Yeah.
why are you even talking about that?
Because when he had him on his neck, you could hear him saying, "Don't use drugs." So I watched the whole.
He said that?
I watched the whole video. So if you got to go watch the real video.
Now let's talk about them working
Yeah.
together.
So yes,
Oh
they worked
yeah,
together.
For years.
But yeah,
And they
he knew
had
him.
they knew each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they had overlapping schedules.
Yeah, he knew him.
So you were so you were talking about the
He knew the black dude?
yeah.
They worked together as bouncers at a club. He was an off-duty cop. He was a bouncer at the club. They knew each other. They worked for the same place.
Floyd had fired somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was him
Yeah.
or his partner, but Floyd had fired one of them.
First of all, Floyd had a fake $10 bill in his money.
20.
That happened.
It wasn't a check. And that can happen to anybody. So the fact the people called the police, that's fine and dandy. But the police came and they just yanked him out of his car and handcuffed him. And where do you get handcuffed for having a fake $10 or $20 bill?
Yeah.
And it could be an accident.
Right.
Right. You don't get that happen to you, man.
Right.
So
Tasha Garner, what up?
So what's going to happen to the officer right now?
3rd degree
manslaughter.
manslaughter.
That's like suspended.
It's like me
driver's
pushing
license,
you
3rd
out my
degree.
car on an accident and you passing away.
And then the other 3 officers
5 years. 3
They're
to
looking
5
at
years.
5 years.
3
Yeah.
to 5 years.
So
Yeah.
here,
2
here-
of them didn't have anything on their record, no complaints,
I'm
nothing. 2 did.
So what does 3rd-degree manslaughter get you?
25 years.
up to 25
Up
years.
to.
Up to.
Or a $40,000 fine and walk out. So,
All
look,
of them
I
should
think
be.
now this is what's scary. Okay, some attorney went on live TV and said that he seen all the footage and that he wasn't going to get charged. And then I really think that there was a meeting to say we better not charge this man, or we gonna have to replace this whole city.
Here's the
Right.
thing you have to
Oh, they
remember.
already got to replace those.
Here's the thing you all have to remember. Law enforcement, it has a union. Almost all the law enforcement has union. SPD has a union. Minneapolis police has a union, right? As you all know, the job of a union is to make sure that their union member is protected,
Yeah.
right? So understand that these guys will be represented by the union. They'll go through all the protocol, right? Because that's what they do. All right.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me if the union will come up. Now they'll call all the tactical trainers to come in and testify on their training, the protocols, all that. Even though both of these, 2 out of the 4, have had complaints.
It was bad cops.
They, no doubt, they were. And what kills me is I'm looking at and that is the thing with you can have a number of very bad cops, but their union will find those loopholes because that's what unions are supposed to do. Just Boeing has a union, and if somebody comes up and fires you or whatever, the union
Depends on what you did, though.
but still, the union, you call your union rep, and the union rep looks at everything, right?
Yeah.
So understand that that's part of what's going to happen here. Okay. Yeah. So you're dealing with different aspects of this, which is unfortunate. Me, I'm looking at the police chief going,
What up, Fly Guy?
Yeah.
hey, why is he even still on a beat? He has had excessive force after excessive force complaints about him, and he is still on the street.
Because that's the ones that he probably get a lot of arrests.
So real
probably
quick,
get the
No.
job done.
But regardless, you have excessive force. So, so I look at so part of, to me, as I'm looking at a police chief going, really, you can't do something about this. You can't put him on a desk. You can't move. I know you can.
it's all political right now.
It is.
It's all political. And props out to the mayor for standing up and seeing what's right. We have a guest on the
we got?
line. He's very involved in the political situations with inner city situations, touching on things like this. He shot videos about these type of things before it actually happened. We got Draze on the phone, artist
Go
Draze.
Tracy. Go Tracy.
So we want to talk to Draze for a few minutes and see his political side of this, what he see, happening maybe in the future of this whole situation. Will they let this die down? Would they just kind of play the game real quick and until we forget about it and kind of slip these guys through the system on some easy? Dre, what's up?
What's going on with you, family?
What up,
Hey.
man? What up?
What is it? So, man, we know that, you get involved in these type of situations a lot, and I want to hear your 2 cents on this.
It's a lot. You know what I mean? Like, this is a lot. It's hard to watch, right? I've never seen the video fully through it. The first time I saw it, I was like watching the first 5-10 seconds, and I ain't gonna lie.
Couldn't.
My eyes just teared up. You know what I mean? And I closed my phone. I was like, man, I'm not watching this. You know what I mean? It's painful to watch.
By the way, there's
I think-
2 angles they found out.
Yeah, I saw a clip of the other angle, and I just can't watch it, man. It's hard for me. I think what blows me away the most is just watching how I'm seeing so many white people who are going, wow, this is really hitting home, and I'm like, yo, so it never hit home this home?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just been, Mike Brown didn't hit home?
Right.
You know what I mean? None of that stuff hit home, and so.
But when also, and I didn't mean to cut you off, is the Arbery. That really kind of started it too. When people were like, wait a minute, I can jog as a white person in a neighborhood and not get shot. So then. Now you had Breon in the middle, and now really, you're right. White folks is going, whoa, this is a real issue.
Yeah.
It blew me away. That blows my doors to kind of see that. Man, y'all now. So it just, when you get back to the humanity of it all, it goes to show we're very different, and we live very different lives. We think differently. We operate. It really shows our difference. And I'm into actually getting something done. It's not about just anger. Let me get it straight. When I see that police building burning, everything in me says, burn it down, not the building. Burn the entire system down because it's not working, right? And so it's hard because people don't like change, black or white. And so we're all really comfortable. And so for a while, I've been seeing a groundswell of, you know what? None of it's working. I mean, Republican or Democrat, burn it all down, right? It's not working. The prison numbers for black people don't change depending on which party is in office,
right?
It doesn't change. So but at the end of the day, the facts are neither one of them are for us. And so when you're dealing with a corrupt system, I salute the people down in Minneapolis to think that they're really pushing back to that point of saying, look, no more. We need change, real change.
Right.
How about
Words.
this?
Go ahead.
You think we need a new Black Panther or something going on? What you think? Or something
Look,
something?
somebody said that we can't hear Drazy. So no, I'm not trying to cut you off. I think that we do need a movement. But when Drazy said burn it all down, I agree because now while we have your attention, please, take their eyes. Let's not end this with violence. We got the attention. Now bring in the suits. Now go to the city halls. Now go and have these meetings. Now this is when we throw the important people with the educations and the understanding about law and reforms and all that stuff. Now we need to come, while the fire's burning in the background, we need to talk.
Right.
Because now you see we have control. Now we can come to agreement. You guys I don't know what you got to say on the application to become an officer, but I wonder if they ask the question, are you racist? Do you hate? Do you do it with all this social media? Do you do investigation? Why are we finding pictures of this officer? And there was a guy that said some negative things that was in the Army that fought the war, the recent war. And he was being super racist. So this is the man that actually goes into the buildings to
Saves.
fight for America alongside of us,
Right.
that has a gun in his hand, that can actually turn the gun and kill a soldier and say, he got into my crossfire.
Right.
How
Friendly
do you
fire,
guys
yeah.
feel about
It's not just the police. It's every
system.
It's the
Right.
system.
Yes.
How do you feel about the protest tomorrow?
Depends on what everything has to have an end game, a meaning,
Right.
right? If everybody's jumping on the wagon of violence, then what are we
What's
doing?
Well, that was
What's
more
the-
my
what-
question. Do you think it's going to be like because usually in Seattle when we protest, it's usually cool.
Yeah.
But since all of this is going on,
You know what I
think-
like about Seattle is that, and everybody can pay attention to this.
Yeah.
Remember we got Draze.
I haven't recognized one brother on TV when it happens. It's a lot of white people involved in these movements, especially Seattle when they go and they go into the streets and try to make. Listen, man, it's a new time. This ain't your grandfather's ex-friend. This ain't these people. These people don't want it, period. I don't think it has anything. We got to learn how to understand that a lot of these people don't like it either.
But you bring up, and that's the other thing too. And I'm not sure how y'all feel about this. But as of late, you always do. You have a lot of white people all of a sudden coming forward, going, "Oh, I hate this." You know what? And like you say, "Oh, wow, so this is really happening, right?" Mm-hmm. And I think for the first time in a long time, since all of this has been happening over the last couple of years, you have even officers, law enforcement officers, actually speaking out about this. White officers
Putting their jobs on the line.
right? Which usually that's not what they do. That's so out of character for them. Okay, but here's my thing, and I mentioned this to you earlier. Yee. I said, okay, you got all the white folks coming in and realizing this is really happening, and this is like crazy, and I've now the realization of my privilege is at the forefront. But it's all fun and games when you're marching with us, right? Mm-hmm. But what are you truly doing with us to change, to make that change?
That's why I was about to say, or
like,
would
what are you
consider-
doing? You're just standing there kumbayan with us?
Just because you march with us,
Right.
does that mean that you with us for real?
Right. Because
Listen,
I
hold
haven't
on.
seen
Because
any
Let me
of
answer that. Let me answer that.
Yeah.
Would you put your life on the line and not mean it? Listen, they talking about
You ever been
bringing
in a
they
ride?
talking about bringing the guns in,
You ever been in a ride?
right?
Yes, sir.
Listen,
It's fun.
Listen to what I'm saying.
He
No,
said
no.
it's
See,
fun.
we're
Yeah.
not.
I'm just
listen,
saying though. A lot of those people go down there. They down there.
I
just
respect
clowning
your
around
opinion, but I
and
don't
being
think I would
fools.
put
You know what I'm saying?
myself in harm's way. I seen a lady. Look, we could say that for each side. I seen a lady with her baby in a, what is that thing called?
carriage or
The
Stroller.
Stroller.
She took
right?
herself down there though.
She took her, but she.
Yeah.
Listen, man. What you want to do is paint a picture of. I don't want to be that ignorant to think, because I got white friends too,
right.
and they really mean it. Sometimes they so hard on it more than me, and I go, man, calm down, right? I'm saying this. We're never gonna get over race if we keep on reinventing it. If we keep on, I seen Mississippi burning in school. Mm-hmm. Why? Why did I see this in school? What did I feel after the movie was done to little Charlie that be kicking it with me on the playground? You got to stop. Somebody got to take the hit, and then take the hit and.
But that's what I'm. But that's what I'm asking. I'm all down with that, and I see that it's, hey, I want to join forces, but what are we as in unity going to do, right? And with that white privilege, because you do have that white privilege, now is the time to really utilize that white privilege in protection of people of color. So how are you going to,
how
move
much of that are you using?
I'm gonna say
Man,
this.
I like the
we
smell
don't
of it.
we don't need nobody acceptance to help us do nothing.
But
See,
it's
that's
a
the problem.
unity.
Let me
It's a
say
unity.
this. Let me
Man,
say
you
this.
sound. Listen,
Just let
man.
me say this.
It's a
Okay,
unity.
I'ma say it
We're all
respectfully.
in the
Say it.
same.
I'm
Let
gonna
him
say
it,
what
let
I
him
got
say
to
it.
say. I'm gonna say it respectful as possible. Everybody got their opinion.
Yeah.
Some of y'all gonna be on the fence. Some of y'all gonna say no.
Say it.
Some of y'all got people, friends that you might not want to whoop the whoop against. But I'm gonna just keep it 100. I don't need, and we don't need nobody to help us do what we supposed to be doing. Now, if you gonna come join join. But this, you got to understand, we are not stupid.
Right.
Okay, so you can come join and you can
But
throw rocks and do what you want to do. But we are not stupid. We know when if the get the guy, you're gonna run off. You get what I'm saying?
You can't live. I can't live a life thinking.
Yeah.
I can't live a life thinking that one human being doesn't feel the way I feel or love me for real because of their skin color. Listen. We need everybody.
To be
you need
together.
Everybody to come together, whether they're serious or not. When you
let
walk
Draze say
into that building, we need their skin. They need to see that their people's tired of it too.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
So your next door neighbor needs to know that if he's racist in this neighborhood, he need to go.
Right.
Right?
Regardless.
We don't need no man, fight the power, we're gonna go kick down everybody's neighborhood till they understand. That's only gonna cause people to react. And then
divide.
Kill and protect themselves and all that, and then they got excuses, right? Like they want the excuse now to come in there and shoot up everybody that's protesting. We need to be careful because you throwing weapons. Like for instance, you throwing things at the cops. Yeah. You're using weapons. They do have a decision to protect themselves at this point, right? Now, what you had a rock. Say you had a rock and you were outside your house and the cops came.
Yeah.
What's your chances when you raise that rock to throw it at that cop and you run up on them? They can shoot you, right? Listen, we got to play the cards right, and we can't be speaking. How could you say you want something to change that's been happening to your people, but you come in with rage and hate? You have to think. When you're mad and you're upset, you don't think, and you say things that you couldn't say that keep reigniting the fire. That's why you need the brothers in the suits to say, hey, you see what's going on. Not only is my people, I got your people too.
But they're not doing that.
Right? Draze.
What's happening?
So you got a song here. We want to play this song. What is this song about? And we want you to kind of introduce it.
Can I chime in on what you're saying?
Yes, you can.
Real quick?
Yes,
do
please.
That, or do you got to go straight to the
No,
Go ahead.
Okay. My perspective on it is that it's not either or, it's both and. Okay, two things can be true. On one hand, I hear one brother saying, we don't need nobody, and he's actually correct. We really don't need anyone, right? We don't need anyone to be self-sustaining, to nurture ourselves, to have everything that we need to pull ourselves up and move the way we need to move.
Right.
With movements like, I'm on this movement right now, Building Black Wealth, right, where to me it's an offensive, right? We need to start moving towards direct our money, spend it to ourselves, spend it with ourselves. The entire concept behind it is we don't need anyone, right? Some people go, well, what happens if white people stop supporting your businesses? It doesn't matter. They don't support them now,
Right.
right? So we make $1.2 trillion that we spend every single year in this country. We can restore our own community. On the other hand, our movement has never moved forward without the assistance of others.
Right.
So it's an unrealistic concept to believe you're going to move in America without the support of others, right? So the civil rights movement, which moved a lot forward, there were tons of white people who were in them streets, who were standing up. It would never have happened. We wouldn't have the rights we do have today if it wasn't for other white allies who were there with us. So to me, it's not either or, it's both and. I think you guys are both right. And so for me, I'm always trying to say, how do we galvanize both? But what needs to happen, what's most important in this day and age is both. We have to simultaneously be playing offense and defense. We need to be figuring out how to connect with allies because we need white people. They are the ones moving the bar forward.
Yes.
If you want to do something with gangsters, you need gangsters to talk to gangsters, right? If you want to do something with white folks, you need white folks to talk to white folks. Our thing is not going to move.
That's
until
all
people
I was
speak
saying.
to their own.
That's all I was saying.
Well, that's what I was saying too. Let them use what privilege that they have to either open the doors or to unite and get and forward our people of colors their plight and say, hey, now, because that is what's happening. They're saying, wow, like you pointed out, people are going, white folks are going, wow, this is really, I finally see how.
They always say that after something happens.
But I know, but now what he's just saying though is it's just, and I get it.
it's not, again, it's not either or, it's both.
Right.
And you're
It's
actually
both.
right, brother. You are right.
Yeah,
But
that's
that
what I'm
doesn't
trying to
mean-
tell
if
him. I
we
like
were
the
to
militant
if we were to
attitude.
break it down into percentages,
militant.
let's
No,
just
you
say
are.
we're dealing with
Yeah,
a
that ain't an
100%
attitude. That's
whole
a
of
way of
white.
life.
Ain't no
Every
militant.
single time something like this happens, another few of them actually really join the movement.
Right.
It's really happening. It's real. The tide is turning. It's longer than we know. We're not used to having to fight this type of a fight in terms of our generation. Our generation doesn't know that when these guys were doing the Montgomery bus boycott, we see the celebration. We don't see that boycott lasted over a year and a half of us walking and carpooling to work. Well, think of some people lived 40 years just to see voting rights and then to see the bus boycott and then another. We're in the middle of a process that's going to take some time to happen. So, and the truth of the matter is, I actually put this on my wall the other day where I said, the truth of the matter is we're fighting a fight that we're not going to see in our lifetime the fruit of. This is for our children's children. This ain't for us. So we have to be willing to fight a fight. And when you think of it like that, now you have to notice the little things that work in your favor. But I do want to echo your sentiment. This will not happen if black people don't get an agenda of their own.
That's
unified.
real.
There you go.
If
That's
we don't
real.
have that,
There you go.
you're expecting white people to come in and lead your community. That
Right.
can't
That's
happen.
real.
It never happens. They will never look out for our needs the way we will because they don't understand them.
I don't
Now,
want to cut you off, Draze,
they just
but we
don't
gotta
get it.
we gotta get this song in, and then we can come back to this subject. We got to get this song in. What is the song called? What inspired it?
Man, the song is called "Ain't Nobody Talking About No Real Ish."
Real shizzle.
You can figure out what the ish is, but it was really I was actually inspired by a quote from D'Angelo, where I heard him saying, "Man, he was frustrated looking at media and nobody was talking about nothing real," and it resonated with me. And so, to me, there's so much going on in our communities. It's not just about this. There are 1,000 systemic issues, and it's kind of like my own Draze Black Rage, right? I think the artist's job in times like these is unique. Our job is to continue to give voice to things that people don't see and hear. And so my role is different. I'm not a politician. I'm going to call it out. I'm going to say it as I see it, and that's what I did.
All right, man. This is Draze right here. Check it out, y'all.
Because ain't nobody talking about nothing. The music that's coming out now, everybody's talking about, how many drugs you sold, or how many bottles of champagne they popping at the club. And ain't nobody talking about no real issue.
Yeah. All right. Ain't nobody talking about no real ish. All these rappers like I gotta pay my bills in. The whole thing is whack, I'm not feeling it. Walking around on stage like they killing it. Yeah, ain't nobody talking about no real hitter. When I come like this, they tell me chill hitter. And half these niggas is lying, supposed to be the voice of the people. Now listen to our cries. They killing us in these streets, hear me? I said they killing us in these streets. We buy these albums like I know we about to get them on the beats. Then you let down when your favorite rapper don't say a peep. Man, I guess it's fly to call these black girls freaks. You know the cop out. I'm just writing the things that I see. Like you don't see your mama, your auntie, or your niece. I ain't for all this cooning. Gotta get my meals like I'm meat. Boy, selling dope and selling records. These boys selling you dreams. I put this thing in perspective. We line up for nights, but won't line up for no rights. They told me gay's the new black. I told them gay's the new white. And these hipsters claim they for equality. Show up to the Pride Fest, but absent at the Black Lives Rally. The post-racial society is white supremacy. Black fraternities is calling themselves Greeks. Bro, we don't even own BET. They hire a couple brown faces and call it the university. I need a fair trial, but you're the judge and the jury, so they label me out of a joint from Spike Lee. I tell them I can't be racist, my best friend's white. At least you know what that dish must sound like. When the last time you heard a black cop kill a kid who's white? Then the problem is white cops who don't value black life. And the stakes are so high. They put the Confederate flag, screaming black pride. I couldn't join the celebration. I'd rather pass legislation against this mass incarceration. I'm just saying, yeah, ain't nobody talking about no real ish. We ain't trying to hear that gotta pay my bills ish. That excuse is whack, I'm not feeling it. Save your breath, you can spare me the bullshit. Yeah, ain't nobody talking about no real hitter. When I come like this, they tell me chill hitter. I can't watch my people die. Riots are the voice of the people. Now listen to our cries. Shawty, I don't mind if you dance on a pole. That don't make you a whore. Gonna get that money, hey. Gonna get that money, shawty. That's all that matters, right? Stop playing, man. Run the track back. I'm gonna go on right here. Let's go. Run it back. Man, Usher couldn't have been more wrong. I almost hit the roof when I heard that song. I'm thinking he ain't have to go there. He's a legend. I wish he would get back to that stuff he did on Confessions before you defend him and ask me why I'm so bothered. As a father, I picture some dudes spitting that game to my daughter on some pop that thing all night long. Get your money, girl, I pick you up and take you home. But nah, it ain't cool turning these little girls out. I seen his tickets on Groupon. I know what it's about. I ain't riding for that. Not now or not ever, yeah. I don't care if he's platinum or whatever, yeah. Ain't nobody talking about no real ish. I told my daughter she can't listen to that bull, and I know the critics will say it's just music. Middle finger high, I'm on my dad ish. Yeah, ain't nobody talking about no real hitter. When I come like this, they tell me chill hitter. I'm such a jerk, pointing out the elephant in the room and messing it up for everybody. Like, what is he doing? Why is he bringing that up? I'm thinking, how are you not? Has it occurred to you that white guilt gave us Barack? And these so-called progressives can stop. More brothers in the pen than was enslaved. This happened on your watch. I love hip-hop, but not loving hip-hop. They want us dumb, deaf, and blind. I'm reading between the lines, but yeah, ain't nobody talking about no real ish. I'm the only one calling out this bull in. The whole game on hush, they condoning this. I'm just trying not to snap on this whole ish. Yeah, ain't nobody talking about no real hitter. When I come like this, they tell me chill hitter. They call it programming, cause it's programming, so they program us to hit ourselves in it. They say it's for ratings, I tell you it's a design. My eyes are wide, man, I probably never get signed. Just cause they say steady show, don't make it so. I pray for them kids from the CD to Chicago. You're more than black gangsters, you're disciples, Panthers, freedom fighters, God's apostles. I hate training, pardon my grammar, we in the wilderness. These are not rhymes, this is manna and yeah, I'ma keep talking about this real ish. Hidden in plain sight, they concealing it. The way, the truth, the light, I embody it. Throw your hands in the air if you're feeling it. Yeah, ain't nobody talking about no real hitter. When I come like this, they tell me chill hitter. I won't watch my people die. I am the voice of the struggle. So now
KKNW, Ease Way I See It No Other Way, man. That's pretty deep song. I'm sitting here thinking, man, all kinds of things is going through my brain, and I'm hearing what DJ Hustleman is saying. And I just want people to understand out there that, you know, it depends on where you at. It really, a lot, like we're way over here in Seattle. Yeah. We really ain't grew up with the you know, traumatizing that a lot of these brothers see in the South. I mean, and have seen, and family member after family member from even getting lynched and stuff. I mean, they had lynchings in, you know, a few years ago. You know, the brother that got tied to the car and drugged down the street.
Yeah. But then they just killed old boy. What's his name?
Yeah, Shay T.
Yeah.
But this is what my point is. This, you're gonna have violence wherever you go, but what's the background on the violence? We haven't seen that magnitude of, you know, our homeboy, our neighbor that got hung and found and all that. I mean, we had the biggest thing we had here so far is the Green River Killer. Nobody even talks about that. That was a lot of black women. Those were women. Okay, those are reproductive systems that he took out. Right. That was nobody ever stood up and said he was racist, but majority of his victims were
Green River Killer.
were black, and because we're in Seattle. But if that happened down south,
True that.
it would have been a different narrative.
We may not have
Right?
lynches down here, but we definitely have.
We've had our
police
share of it. Yes,
killing black
we
people.
had the share, but we've also got to talk about us. And I love the fact that Draze touched on that. What are we doing for each other to be aware of this situation and to stop it before it even gets to this point? How many of us are actually going to Olympia seeing what's on the bill to pass? That's why I keep talking about. Do you even
that's
know
true.
what I mean? Why is there more cops in the inner city than there is on the outskirts? Because obviously there's more crime. But are we talking to the homie when he come through and he done robbed the house?
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are we talking to him saying, man, come on, man? You feel me?
You might.
No, I'm saying how many people are actually, no, we be like, man, get me something. Let's
Yeah.
keep it 100. Get me something. You got the hookup?
Right. You're right.
What if
You
your
feel me?
homeboy go breaking in somebody?
Yeah.
I'm saying, do
Yeah.
you got the connect, homie? That's
Yeah.
what we saying. We're encouraging it.
But you can't.
But I'm
that's
saying,
regular crime.
that, man, you can't, there's no such thing. It's regular crime.
Yes,
What
it
is a
is.
regular crime?
That's regular crime.
What is a regular crime?
If you have a job and your job is holding you to a higher standard and you are protecting people, you can't
Listen,
be killing
bro.
people.
Listen. Regular crimes lead to homicide. We just seen that. He had a $20 bill.
Yeah.
You don't know if he got it from somebody else.
Yeah.
But that would be considered a regular crime. He went in to try to cop something, a beer, whatever it was, with a $20 fake bill, and then he
Yeah.
came out and he got killed.
I'm talking about that wasn't regular crime because the police did it.
A crime is a crime. If they're accusing you of committing a crime and then they committed a crime against you, it still started from a little $20 bill,
Yep.
a counterfeit
I got
little
you. I
dollar
understand
bill.
where you're
It
coming
could
from.
be a girl in there still in diapers. And then she came out and,
Right.
Yeah.
or I'm
A
just
crime
saying.
is a crime, regardless of level.
And I'm not always right. I'm just saying, dude, I've been in situations where I said to myself, man, I shouldn't have did that. Man, you know when you do something that ain't right, your conscience tells you, right? But we need to work on us too. We always roar and go crazy when something happens to one of us, but then we never trying to stop it from happening to us.
Because us has PTSD, my brother.
He said us.
No, I agree with him.
Us, the word us.
I agree with you.
The
Yes,
reason why
yes.
it feel like we can't get fixed, they can't get. Now it
That's
might not
real
be
talk.
us in this room,
Right. No,
You get
that's
what I'm saying?
real.
Oh, it's
That's
us
real.
in this room.
That's
us
real.
in this
It
room.
could be us
That's
in this room
real.
too, but still though,
Us.
they got
The
some
culture.
other
The
us that's
culture.
way got the PTSD, and they don't know why. It's just their culture that they grew up in. So
Draze, you
that
still there?
Right there, no, that right there that's the reason why. That is the reason why, man. PTSD. Give everybody some mental help.
He said nope.
Nope.
Hey, this is the deal. Okay, but what I'm saying is we need to stop waiting for it to happen,
True that.
right? When we were young,
Yeah.
I remember older people calling me to the side and said, come here, man.
Yeah.
What
And
you doing?
mentoring you.
What are you doing over there?
Yep.
Man, you know them people want to lock you up if they
Right.
see you doing that.
Right.
Don't you let me see that again. Here,
Right.
here's $1. Go in there and buy that.
Right.
I seen you take that.
Yeah.
Right.
I done did that before.
I
still do that.
remember,
I do that.
But see, this one, we got to get on the same page as a culture. How's people gonna respect us if we don't respect ourselves? We killing each other for the dumbest reasons.
It's kind of different nowadays because like the youngsters don't really respect
So let me
OGs
ask you a
like
question.
we did.
So, the brothers at Safeway, I want to get this in.
Yeah. you
Two
did.
brothers at Safeway
Freight 50.
got killed,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
But then I find out that store is actually live monitoring by the police,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was a whole bunch of people when it happened.
Every weekend.
Where was the police? Because we got an order right now that says we're not supposed to be in one
Gathering.
place like
Yep,
that.
That large.
Where are they to break this up before it even get to that point? I'm not saying they're watching us.
They are.
Mutilate ourselves. Okay, we're not even supposed to be out like this. So if you're live monitoring this and 2 people get killed, right? So we don't even have anybody really caring for our young youth, right? So whoever it is saying, let them sit there. It's either, you got to remember, we can't trust all of this right now. What if that dude signed up to do this?
I know.
What if he was a racist, right? And he signed up to do this.
That's what I was gonna say that earlier. All this seemed kind of scripted.
So we got to be on point.
Yeah.
So that we don't let him get what he want. We don't have to be suckers.
Yeah.
But I wish we had the same mentality going forward as we do when we get into it with each other.
But it's using your the intelligence that you have. You talk about that all the time, about how intelligent, of the culture is and utilizing it and coming together. And that's what I hear E saying is that, okay, then use your intelligence.
I can't speak on everybody, though.
That's real.
I can't speak on everybody. That's why I said the PTSD is deep in the hood
It's in
and
our
certain
community.
spot. But then I said in this room, us four right here, from us knowing that we talking, it seemed like we got sensible. We ain't gonna go out there and do
Right.
that.
But
stupid
I
stuff.
also complained about
Yeah.
them harassing me when I really was committing a crime.
And I
See?
committed something too and
Let's keep
complained
it
about.
100
That's
if
what
we
I'm
gonna
saying.
talk about
Right.
this. I've had crack in my butt
Boom.
when I said, man, why you keep messing
Boom.
with us?
Because you didn't like the police.
I don't like the fact
See?
that you here and you messing up my money right now.
Right.
I'm
See?
saying we got to keep it 100. We need to work on ourselves. There's a lot of things that's missing right now in the inner city that they took away from. Even after school sports is not the same. Even
Right.
going to these gyms now, they used to be free. They used to be family orientated. Now you got to go through a lot of stuff, man. You want to go to that gym, then your mom and dad makes too much money, so you have to pay for you to go play basketball or the sports. I know they got to keep the doors open, but that's where the city stepped in and said, we need this.
Mm-hmm.
The question I keep hearing is like, what we gonna do about it? Yeah. So why not start it protesting? And everybody think it's kumbaya, but I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there.
No, it's not kumbaya.
I'm gonna be there.
Oh,
If
no,
you're
it ain't
not
a
robbing the
kumbaya.
store.
It ain't about
It's
to
not
be
kumbaya if you're not robbing the store. That's all I'm saying is call a klepto, homie. Are you
Right.
doing this for the George movement, or do you need
Right.
some merchandise?
Right.
Right.
What
I
is
see
your
what
real
you're saying.
purpose for doing that? But
Let's read some.
But it's interesting that you bring up the socio part of it and the Safeway incident where the police are monitoring and stuff like that. Because I work in a community minded environment all the time, and the school district the kids have been out of school since March, and there's a lot of kids out where I work that do not have access to computers or Wi-Fi, things like that. So we opened up our club, connected with the school district, and the school district is playing politics with me. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to help you folks out. I want these kids, these middle schoolers and high schoolers, to not be behind when that school district is already kind of behind than most. I can compare my kid's school district to the school district in which I work in, and I'm like going, what in the heck? Who doesn't want their kids to go where they can, do their Zoom meetings and do virtual education and have that for you for free? Here's the doors, here's the time. And then the school district is like, well, since we're not open, we really can't promote that.
Yeah, do me stay on.
We can't really promote that our kids go to your facility to use this, and this.
So somebody,
and I'm like, what?
Somebody said we can't compare police brutality to a brother killing a brother.
Yeah, that's regular crime.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Regular crime.
Yes,
Man,
listen,
you brought
listen
that
what I'm
one up.
saying.
Listen,
you
no,
can't compare
that's
the
what
two.
someone just said.
You can't compare them to
No,
because it's different. We
but
hold
he's-
that cop to
hold
a
up,
high
though.
standard.
We hold him a high standard.
But it's still
listen,
crime.
You're missing the point. Value the brother.
Understandable too.
Okay?
I agree with
How
that.
could you go rioting and throwing stuff through windows when you don't care about your own people as much as a hate crime person?
And that's the first thing
right?
people say when a cop kill a black man is they say, well, you guys do black on black crime.
That's why we
like
need to
it's
change the
justified.
narrative. That's what I'm saying. We need to love each other so that it's real.
Understandable.
Right? You can't walk up and be like, yo, we'll set you from, and then smoke him, but then get really pissed off when an officer say, put your hands on the car and kill him. It's look, I just killed the brother I didn't know
So
because I want his watch. right?
You saying we should?
What I'm saying is we need to. No, you crazy. Anyway,
What is he saying?
But
listen,
here's
listen,
what I
listen,
get
listen,
you.
listen,
But I
tune
get
in.
you.
What is
But
he
I
saying,
get you.
then, E?
No, but I understand what he's saying. But you're right.
get
But
you,
and
dog.
I understand too.
Yeah.
Holding, their position is it's held to a higher standard. So there is protocol that they have to go through, right?
Yeah.
And we should.
Yeah.
They take an oath to serve and protect and render aid, all of that, right?
Yeah.
But I get where he's coming from is and this is also too why people bring it up. Why would you kill another brother? Skin color, everything. That's supposed to be your culture. You're supposed to be loving each other, but y'all don't, and it's over.
no,
Okay, let me say this.
you guys about
There's
to
a
get to
video.
Well, not don't,
Oh,
but you
look,
know what I'm saying.
Look, there's a video on World Star right now, right? And I agree with y'all. If I hold a cop to a higher standard, I should be holding my brother Sweeng to a higher
That's all
standard.
I'm
Right.
saying.
I understand it,
Right. There
but
you
this
go.
is what
I
I'm
got
saying.
you.
Sweeng ain't no cop, and I ain't no cop. If I got a beef with him and he come up, roll
We
up
don't
on me,
know
he pull
if you
his
a
gun
cop.
on me. Hold up. If he pull his gun on me, yeah, he might be
No,
undercover.
he's talking about you. He's talking about you.
No. But look, I see this video. I'm gonna cut this short. I see this video. It's a video on World Star right now with a dude, there's two brothers that got into it at the gas station.
Yeah.
And the one dude pumping his gas, and they filming it. They was already arguing. And then one dude was woofing, and he's like, man, the dude pumping his gas, he got a gun on him.
Oh,
He
I seen
And
that.
the dude was woofing, talking about, I'll take your gun and slap you out. And dude was like, what? He said, I'll take your gun and slap you out. And he walked up on him. That boy pulled his gun and pop, 3 in the chest, and he died right there on the ground.
Did you agree with that?
Well, yeah, I'm going to shoot him too.
Why? The person that walked up on him didn't have a weapon.
Don't walk up on me. How do I know if you had a weapon,
Okay.
man? I only got one chance
See,
to go home.
that's
You feel me?
the mentality.
But the thing
Nuh-uh.
is that
Protect yourself. I understand.
Yeah, but
he clearly said, I ain't got no
No,
gun.
he- no,
I
he didn't
watched
say
it.
that.
I
No,
watched
no,
that video.
no.
He said, I don't have. We can't argue. Let's get. You said what you
He
said.
said, I'll knock
said,
you
I
out
don't
and
have
take
a
your
gun.
gun.
I'll take your gun is even telling you he don't have a gun.
Tell me I'm going to take my gun and
But
walk up
here's
on me
the
and slap me
thing.
and knock
But
me
here's
out.
the thing. What was the?
I seen that. That was
what
fast.
the
That was
movie
crazy.
the Friday? The first. Remember, and people have
You
brought
gotta
this
get some
up.
questions in.
Where Craig was going to take a gun and John Witherspoon was like,
Oh, yeah.
back in the day, we
these.
used this.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
You know what killed me?
That's my thing. Why? We already know that a gun is going to kill somebody that quick. But if you're really, but why is it necessary to take another person's life?
If
I
you
can't-
Why
hey,
is
if
it
you pump-
necessary?
if you're going to pump somebody in front of...
Then
if you
pump
gon-
me with your hands
Hold on,
and do.
hold on,
You know what I'm saying? Why do you got to take? You
Ain't
talking
nobody
about?
Hold on,
we got-
You
we got
want
a
to take
guest on the
somebody
phone.
home?
Oh.
You want to go home? That person wants to go
Listen,
home
don't
too.
shoot me, Terry. Don't shoot me, please.
Here we go.
I'm gonna bust you.
Check it out. Okay,
Let's
we
go.
all got good points, and
Yeah.
people on here. Cinnamon Rosa said
What's he say?
the issues have their own effects and resolutions. However, similar, they are not the same.
Not the same.
James said LA's going crazy right now.
Yeah, San Jose. You were showing
Zay
me.
made some good
Oakland,
points too. Alvin said all the robbing, looting, and setting ish on fire is what actually going to make them pay attention
Thank
to the
you.
situation. Without
They
the
do say
looting
Martin Luther
and
King.
fires, they would just swept that under the
Thank
rug.
you.
I'm just reading. I think they got me. Okay, so we got Dre on the phone. You cannot compare black on black crime to police brutality, though.
I love it. Y'all got my back. Yeah, out there. Everybody listening to me. I know.
My only
Okay,
thing
so
is,
so here we go. Let's get Dre.
Let's go.
Dre's back on the phone. Dre's, are you there? So you got a lot to talk about now. We got about 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3-4 minutes.
And you have a lot to talk about. And everybody got good opinions, but one thing I could say, and the reason why I stand up so tall with some of the black on black crimes is you can't fool me. I'm not hoodwinked because I was actually a soldier in the hood. I was part of a movement that also, did some stuff that I regret that was stupid, didn't make any sense. And then I'm hanging out with the cats to this day right now, which if that bullet would have hit him, I would have been the one that actually did it. So, some people see things from a different perspective because they're not actually in it. Like we can criticize the wars and when they go over there, and we can all go say like, well, why don't Saddam Hussein and Bush or whoever get them up? A lot of it is just, we're not perfect. We're human beings. And sometimes, like you said, some people a lot of people in the hood are damaged too. You know, they're damaged. They are damaged.
Yeah, man.
And sometimes we gotta start holding these parents accountable.
It's a lot of teaching
We're not
of hate.
holding these parents. I know parents that's in the club with their kid kicking it like, oh, that's your mom. I thought that was your homegirl. Right?
Yeah. Let me say this. In my opinion, there's this statement that Malcolm X said, where he essentially said, "We're not outgunned and we're not outmanned. We're out-organized." Right? And the real truth is, we just need a black agenda. The major issue is internally. We have to come together and figure it out. We have to build a black agenda to build wealth. We need a black agenda to impact policies. We need an agenda to impact police violence and change the justice system. We need an agenda for education. We need an agenda to rebuild our families, to galvanize the gangs. We need an agenda for healthy food and healthy living. We need our own agenda. And so years ago when we integrated, it was a huge thing. It mattered. It was necessary. I'm not against it. But in that process, I think we may have assimilated so far that we forgot the importance and the value of maintaining our own, right? And when you don't have your own, your sense of identity, your sense of family, your sense of everything is broken up. So I just think we have to rebuild our own, which is even harder in this generation because there are no black communities. They're being disseminated by gentrification, right? But in black communities where you start to get all of these things I'm talking about, right? And so I just think we need a black agenda where we come together and we build our own. It's not without white. It doesn't mean we don't deal with white. It just means there has to be some place where we're able to talk about the diseases that are killing us because of food, where we're able to talk about the justice system, where we're able to talk about education and what we need in our families. And everything you're talking about goes back to a black agenda. And if we had one that we all agreed upon that we can hold each other accountable to, we'd be straight. And I'm
with you on the agenda.
We got to stop that right there. We at the end of our time. 1150 KKNW E's where I see it no other way. If it's out there, let's talk about it, man. Great conversation. Whether we agree or disagree, we are talking about it, and we're not doing it through violence. I think that's the importance, is being able to talk about it and work it out.
Don't burn nothing down, Seattle. Don't do it.
Don't tell them, don't snitch, don't tell them, don't say nothing. I'll be hella women. Don't tell these women, don't tell them, don't snitch, don't tell them.